wake up, wake up.
Good morning. Thanks for waking up with us. It is Tuesday, September 10th. I'm Dave Alley.
And I'm Megan Monroe, and it's 5 o'clock. Wake Up Central Coast starts right now.
Wake up, you gotta shine with the sun, and here it comes. It's all about early, and I wanna be there.
We begin with breaking news this morning. The Syrian foreign minister says that Syrian President Bashar al-Assad will accept Russian chemical weapons proposals. Now, we'll have more on this coming up later in our show. President Obama is looking for a diplomatic breakthrough in the Syrian standoff. Well, that's happening today. President Obama will address the nation about Syria.
But before he does that, he did sit down with CBS News anchor Scott Pelley, and he spoke about the ongoing crisis. Wake Up Central Coast reporter Brett Barton, he has more on why the president wants Congress to authorize a military strike. Good morning, Brett.
Well, good morning, Dave. President Obama is set to lay out his case to the American people tonight about why there should be a U.S. military strike on Syria.
We should all be haunted by those images of those children that were killed.
The president will visit Capitol Hill today to personally push Congress to push a resolution authorizing a strike on Syria. He plans to meet with both the Republican and Democratic caucuses, who have both pushed back. The Syrian foreign minister says Syria will accept Russia's chemical weapons proposal.
It is a potentially positive development. I don't think that we would have gotten to the point where they even put something out there publicly had it not been, and if it doesn't continue to be a credible military threat.
Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid has delayed a test vote on the resolution planned for tomorrow. He says he wants to work with Republicans to avoid a filibuster. A CBS tally of House members show 189 representatives are leaning towards voting no, while just 33 are leaning towards yes. In the Senate, 26 are leaning towards no, while 28 others are leaning towards yes. And President Obama has ordered Secretary of State John Kerry to find out more details. For Wake Up Central Coast, I'm Brett Martin in the newsroom. Back to you guys.
We live in difficult circumstances for the last 2 years and a half, and we prepare ourselves for every possibility. But that doesn't mean if you're prepared, things would be better. It's going to get worse with any foolish strike or stupid war.
That right there is Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. He went on to say that his administration is, quote, prepared for the worst. A veteran war reporter, by the way, from Italy, who was kidnapped back in April in Syria, he is now home. Domenico Corico landed in Rome last night, and he appeared tired but healthy, and he says that he lived the past 5 months as if he were on Mars, stating that, quote, "They did not treat me well, and I was scared," end quote. Prosecutors are set to question Corico, who has been reunited now with his family.
Well, happening right now, International 6 party talks begin with North Korea. Now, U.S. special agents representing North Korea met with South Korea counterparts this morning. They're urging North Korea to show sincerity towards those talks. Now, the United Nations Security Council has imposed a variety of sanctions on the communist country after nuclear tests and missile launches.
We need to see some sign that they are sincere about what is the central issue of the six-party process, which is the peaceful denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula.
North Korea threatened both South Korea and the U.S. with nuclear war for weeks after UN sanctions were toughened. Well, to California right now, where we're keeping an eye on 3 fires in the northern part of the state.
One of those is known as the Clover Fire that broke out in Shasta County yesterday. It's scorched right now more than 6,700 acres. That fire has also destroyed 20 structures, and right now it's also threatening another 350. This began just after 12:30 yesterday afternoon in Happy Valley. That's near Redding. Right now the fire is listed at just 5% contained, and the cause is still under investigation.
And meanwhile, the Morgan fire has burned more than 37,000 acres in the Contra Costa County. Firefighters have been fighting the fire from the air for hours. Mandatory evacuations are in effect. That blaze is threatening electrical lines and a historical building on Mount Diablo. Right now, it is just 20% contained.
911, do you need police, fire, medical?
This is Samantha Green Police. Road.
All right, we do have units en route to you, ma'am. Is he still there?
Yes, he is, and he's trying to shut the garage door on me.
Is he inside now?
No, he's in his car, and he continually has his hand on his gun, and he keeps saying, "Step closer." He's just threatening all of us with
Step closer
his
to what?
firearm, and he's going to shoot us.
Well, all right, you just heard the 911 calls made from the estranged wife of George Zimmerman. He's now accused of domestic violence and threatening his in-laws with a gun. Wake Up Central Coast News reporter Patty Piper is filing the story. She joins us now for the story. Patty, what's the latest?
Well, Megan, at this point, George Zimmerman will not face domestic violence charges. He was picked up by police yesterday outside the Florida home of his in-laws, and he was held for questioning after his wife, Shelley, made that 911 call that we just heard. Now, Shelley Zimmerman told the 911 operator her husband had a gun, had punched her father in the face, and had smashed her iPad. Later, he said, or she said, I should say, that she never actually saw the gun. Her husband, George Zimmerman, a neighborhood watchman, shot and killed unarmed 17-year-old Trayvon Martin. Zimmerman claimed that killing was self-defense. This was back in July when he was acquitted of murder. Then, just last week, Shelley Zimmerman filed for divorce.
Emotions are running very, very high, and it often impacts the way witnesses view anything.
Zimmerman's attorney, and he says the fight was simply a result of the couple's ongoing divorce. After consulting with her attorney, Shelley Zimmerman is not pressing charges against her husband. Now, Shelley Zimmerman was just sentenced last month to a year probation and community service for perjury. She admitted to lying during her husband's bail hearing, in which he was asking for lower bail. She said they were broke when, in fact, the couple had already taken in more than $100,000 in donations. In the newsroom, Patty Piper for Wake Up Central Coast.
Well, happening today, Apple is expected to announce 2 new iPhone models today during a major product event in California. The iPhone 5S is expected to have a faster processor and a better camera. The company may also announce a cheaper iPhone as well. That could come in many colors. It would be made out of plastic instead of aluminum. Shares of Apple rallied back above $500 a share ahead of today's much anticipated announcement.
Very excited for that. All right, coming up, a bow tie maker and musician is making his way up the coast. His next stop, our studio. We'll have much more coming up.
But before we do that, we're going to check in with Cassandra Jones. She has her up and down forecast here on this Tuesday morning.
That's right. You're taking a live look this morning at Aruba. It is 5:07.